This is a trio known as Run TMC. Tim Hardaway Sr., Mitch Richmond, and Chris Mullen all join us right here. Not on the Yuma guest line because they are live in studio. Happy Bay Area All-Star Weekend, and thanks so much for all being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Hall of Famers. All three of you are Hall of Famers. So a big weekend. We'll get to it all. When was the last time you guys were all together?
Last night.
Room? And the night before. You all lived together.
Last night.
Before this weekend, before you all rolled into time. Tom, what was the last time you were together?
Last time when we had shot out,
We
did our three-point shootout about a couple weeks ago.
No, about a month ago.
Who won
It
that?
was a month ago?
Who won that? Hardaway.
Well,
I'm taking Hardaway on that.
Whoa.
Is that coming out today?
It's coming out today. Yep.
Jesus, why?
Papa knows.
Molly won. Molly won, right?
Well, I mean.
Let me just say this.
Yeah.
First of all, Pop,
please.
It's a pleasure to be back with you. You called most of our games together.
Called them all.
Yes.
So it's really good to see you. You've been a big support of ours for decades and decades now.
I was there when you were drafted. I was in New York. It was right after the Tyson Spinks fight. I got married right on that same weekend.
Wow, you remember
in New York. So anyway, I was there when you were drafted, and the very next year, Molly was here before I got here, but I remember when Don Nelson lied to the whole league that Tim Hardaway is a bad knee, and he got you to go to 14, and he was going to take you anyway. So,
oh man,
how about that draft, Molly? You were here just to get Mitch in '88 and get Timmy in '89.
Yeah, I mean, incredible how, and we've seen it in a short sample size with Jimmy Butler, but more so in the NBA than any sport does one player make a huge difference. And you know, my first few years with the Warriors, they were at the bottom of the shelf in the NBA. I was involved in the first draft lottery.
I was there for that one.
1985.
Patrick Ewing.
And Patrick was the number one pick. And, you know, at that point in time, if you got picked in the lottery, you go into a bad situation. So it was going to be a rebuilding situation for sure.
You weren't happy. I remember that. The early days in Al Addles, because the Warriors are the worst record, they wound up with the 7th pick. They thought they were going to get one, and Ewing, but they got a Hall of Famer.
Rest in peace, the great Al Addles. His class and humility. He got the worst pick, which was me, but he never made me feel that way. So he was a great guy, great mentor for me. But, you know, 1988 comes and we get Mitch Richmond, and immediately the entire organization changes. You know, Mitch is NBA ready, strong, can play inside out, two-way player, great defender, rookie of the year, averaged 20 points per game. But that changed the entire organization around one player, Mitch Richmond. And then the following year, as you mentioned, Don Nelson drafts this kid from University of Texas El Paso, who you know El Paso wasn't on NBC much back in the day. But then Tim Hardaway walks into the College of Alameda gym, and this guy is as ready as Mitch Richmond.
Yes.
And talking all the way in.
I was going to say, the only difference is he told you he was ready.
Yeah.
And boy, I'll tell you what, they changed my life. They changed my career. And really changed the trajectory of the Warriors organization. Look, all organizations go through ups and downs. So it was a downtime. Rick Barry was here with Al, and they won championships. It was a downturn. But Mitch Richmond and Tim Hardaway came and flipped the entire organization around, brought the excitement. You remember selling out every night. It was an amazing turnaround.
15,025 every night.
Yeah.
Rock, I when you walked into that first practice, and Molly's a great player, a lot of great players.
Yes.
But right away, you were the best damn player on the team immediately because you played both ends of the floor. What do you remember about walking into that first practice with Mully and the guys?
Oh, man. Well, I remember playing against Mullen on the select team. We was getting ready to go to the Olympics. And so I was excited to see him, knowing that I was going to have an opportunity to play with him. And, you know what? I didn't have – no. Were we drafted then? I don't know if we were drafted then.
No, you were with the Olympic team.
We were drafted.
Right after the 88. So we were drafted in. So I remember going out and covering Mullen, running out there real quick. And he just did one of these little moves, like kind of went by me, and I thought I was stuck in mud. And I'm like, wait, how did that happen? I mean, how did that happen? So, you know, I think you had to learn how to play because guys had different type of techniques. He had a tremendous technique, but just coming into Golden State, man, I was just welcome. They welcomed me, man. I just wanted to play, and it was a great opportunity because how Nelly style was, it really kind of fitted my game. And then, you know, we were sharing the ball and we were running, so it was it's just a great opportunity and a great place to be.
And I remember when you were drafted, the word was, Nelly don't like rookies. You don't play rookies. Sidney Moncrief, he played in Milwaukee. He was pretty good. Marcus Johnson. And he played you.
Yes.
And then he played Timmy. And tell me about your indoctrination, because you were the guy with the ball. Right. You're the guy that had to get the ball to Mitch in the post and to Mully off a pin down. But Nelly didn't call a lot of plays. So what was it like to be the orchestrator of this offense and still get your own?
Well, I grew up in Chicago, and that's what we did. Point guards orchestrated the whole system. You know, we was trained and we was taught and we was brought up to take care of our teammates. You know, make sure they got the ball, make sure they get in good scoring positions, make sure that they're taken care of. Even though we could take over the game anytime, anywhere when we wanted to, but we had to take care of our teammates and make sure that they was taken care of. And when I got here, and I saw Mitch and Mully on TV while I was at Texas El Paso, and we watched, me and my roommate, we watched them play all the time. And so when I came here, and I didn't know I was coming here because I have not a clue that I'd be a Golden State Warriors.
Right.
And but when I got here, I knew about Mitch. I knew about Chris. I knew what they like to do. I knew where they like the ball at. I knew how to feed them. So it wasn't like feeding the ball to guys was brand new. That's what I was brought up to do. That's what I was taught to do. That's how I ran my teams when I was in grammar school, high school, college. So it wasn't new to me. So, but when you get to the NBA, it's on a different platform. It's on a real big platform, and these guys, the whole Golden State Warriors team, not the organization, but even the organization, but the team, welcomed me with open arms. And and when you hear about guys today talking about a team and how they love their team, that's the way we were. We loved our team. We loved being around our team. We loved playing with our team. We loved, going out there and battling with our team because we had a really, really good team. We had really good guys on our team.
Yeah, so if you're just getting in and out of the car, we've got Tim Hardaway Sr., Mitch Richmond, and Chris Mullen live in studio. Special treat ahead of the NBA All-Star Weekend here with Papa and Silver. And obviously the Rising Stars, you're going to be coaching against each other. I know there's a lot of inter-teammate competitiveness going on, but just talk about what you're looking forward to as far as coaching these young, hungry competitors. And we're kind of bridging, different generations of legendary Bay Area faces with some new ones. We got Trace Jackson-Davis on Team Mullen. We've got Brandon Pajemski with Team Tim. And then, Mitch, you've got two Oakland connections in Amen Asar-Thompson twins. I mean, how are you guys feeling about this challenge coming up?
Well, I'm feeling really good about my team.
He's already talking.
Yeah. I'm feeling really good about my team. I think we had a good draft from all sides. Don't you think?
No question.
I think we had a great draft. We're looking forward to seeing how it pans out. But I'm confident. Are you confident?
I'm very confident.
Tim?
Okay. Mully's quiet. Mully's quiet over there.
Mully is always quiet.
He's just quiet.
First of all, we did have a draft, and I thought it went really well. Mitch had the first pick. Tim had second. I went third. Snake drafts had 2 picks back to back.
Mm-hmm.
I think the teams are well balanced. There's going to be a third team. He's immense with Jeremy Lin, the G League squad, which is going to be a little more experienced bunch of players. But for me, I look back. Look, Mitch is so humble. A lot of people don't realize or remember Mitch was an MVP of the All-Star game. He's got a championship ring. So humble. You don't hear much about that. But you think back to, I think I was part of 5 All-Star games. But each All-Star game, I could remember something that happened. Mm-hmm. And my first All-Star game was 1989 in Houston. And it coincidentally was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's last All-Star game. And I went to the same high school as Kareem. So when I was at Powell Memorial Academy in Midtown Manhattan, I would walk to my gym class and see his banner every day and think of this kind of fictitious character. Who's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? And now I'm sitting next to him in the locker room. Pat Riley was the coach. Right. So every All-Star weekend is something that, sticks out in your mind. So maybe Mitch, Tim, or myself, or Jeremy Lin can give something to one of these young players that sticks with them, vote of confidence, maybe a little tweak to their game, something that we notice, because that happened to us. Mm-hmm. And so, just observing, being a sounding board, maybe give some advice, some things that worked for us, some things that didn't, because ultimately, Tim talked about being teammates on and off the floor. Ultimately, what it really is about is sharing your experience. Tim shared the ball with us. So going through a career, having experiences both good and bad, and then sharing them with the next generation so they can evolve and get better.
Yeah.
Speaking of All-Star games, and this is going to be the Steph Curry All-Star weekend,
rightfully
without a doubt.
so.
Yes.
I recall a picture of you sitting on the bench. Don Nelson Rock is the head coach, and Del Curry is your teammate. And how old is Steph? He's like maybe 4 or 5 years old. This is in the early 90s.
Very young.
So, I mean, go back in time and tell the audience about this picture. Nelly coaching. Drazen Petrovic, the late great Drazen's there. Wow.
Drazen there.
And there's you as a Sacramento King.
As a Sacramento damn.
What's going on here?
That's why you didn't see that picture much. You know what I mean?
Paper airplane you made out of that one.
And you can see in that picture, I shined, I shunned.
Steph. You were the star of stars.
No, I shunned Steph Curry.
Are you? He's trying to give you a high five?
He's trying to give me a high five, and I didn't even look at him.
That was a mistake.
Sorry. That was a mistake. That was a mistake.
That's why That's why you don't get Steph Curry stuff.
He gave me something yesterday, and I apologize. He gave me some shoes yesterday.
That's Under Armour there?
From that picture. But I think I got him later, but they didn't have that picture because I was giving him fire the whole time. But yeah, that's a great.
That's a trip. And his dad was a hell of a good player. What a great shooter he was. Steph was a player.
Great shooter, just like Steph.
Quick release.
Yeah, time you get past half court, you got to guard him because he can knock it down. And the one thing about it, he never sweated. He never sweat, just like Steph. Never sweat.
All right, so what we're going to do here is we got Run TMC in studio. We'll go ahead, take a timeout right now, burn what we got to get through so we can keep this thing going, maximize our time here. Greg Papa, Greg Silver, and 3 Hall of Famers. Yeah. Definitely not me. More coming up on these Sports Leader.
Not yet.
Yes.
If you've been getting in and out of your car, if you're taking a little break from work, we got Papa and Silver, but it's not just us two. It's Run TMC in the house ahead of NBA All-Star Weekend. Tim Hardaway Sr., Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullen, great to be here. And, Papa, here's the thing. With my generation, a lot of people will be like, oh, well, the Warriors, they stunk for 40 years before Steph Curry. And I say, whoa, no,
stop it.
Whoa,
we believe.
Hold on. Not just we believe, but there was a trio in the 90s. And since you know more about sports than me, you might have to help me check my notes. Was it the Duncan Go Nuts or the Bermuda Triangle?
Tremendous. We had a lot of them. But Steve said universally, when you guys heard Run TMC off the Queens, and you guys got to know him, I know, Run DMC, that was it, Mitch? It was done? You found the nickname?
Oh no, that was it. I mean, it stuck, and we couldn't be so proud. I mean, we were so proud of that name. And you see us now. We still represent Run TMC, man. We got that merch. We have that merch.
That's right, Mitch. Sell it, Mitch.
We have that merch.
I want some of that. I need a cap and a sweatshirt.
Follow me on Mitch Rock Richmond 23 on IG and hit the link. Hit the link, brother.
Yep. There you go, Mitch.
Find the merch, man.
And you guys had some good runs, and you were the highest scoring team in the NBA.
Yes.
Timmy, when Nelly was there, he came from Milwaukee with this defensive reputation. And he comes here, and he spends a summer with Doug Moe, and it's just an open offense. And the Warriors don't call a lot of plays when they're playing well. Did you guys have any plays? Was it just read and react and just open court playing ball?
That's what it was, read and react. Like I said, we had a bunch of great IQ basketball players on our team. Mario Elie, Tom Tolbert at times. When Tom really, when he wanted to get down, he was like, all right, I'm ready today. All right, cool. And then you had, Rod Higgins, of course. So we had some really good basketball players and with great IQs and understood how to play. Understood exactly, a lot of people didn't think we practice. We practice a lot. We practice a lot, and
you practiced hard
too. Yes. And we understood each other's roles, and everybody understood what we wanted to do when we was out there on the court. And it was like it was togetherness. The other teams at times didn't know what we was doing because we didn't call calls. Right. We just looked at somebody and said, "All right, this what we did." That's what we did in practice. Also, you look at somebody and they was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna set a back screen for Mitch, and then I'm gonna come up and get a shot at the elbow." So that's the way we played. So it was always read and react, and it was fun that way too. It was fun that way because because everybody knew everybody's plays. But if you don't know nobody's plays, you didn't know how to guard nobody.
Yeah.
You didn't have any plays. Hard to guard.
No, we did have a lot of plays.
Yeah, you had some, obviously.
We had a lot of plays.
We had a lot of plays.
They were all for Mully to get a shot, though.
Yeah, but we had a lot of plays. And, you got to give credit to Mully because Mully, we learned a lot of those things because we had to continue to keep moving. Mully was a guy that was really kind of truly moving all the time, always setting back picks, always trying to do a screen, always trying to come off screens. And so I think Nelly kind of implemented that whole type of motion offense. And once he created that and how we kind of mastered it, because, you hear a lot of coaches, they practice you without the ball. They're running you all day. And Nelly ran us all day, but we practiced with the basketball. We did a lot of scrimmaging. So we kind of got familiar with everyone's game. I think the one thing that really kind of helped us to know where everyone was at, we always practiced with guys in different positions. I would play the 5 sometimes. Chris would play the 4. Tim would play the 3.
He played 5 and guarded Markey.
Remember
that? The Jolly Green Giant, Utah?
Yes, but we would do it in practice. We'd have the centers coming. So it's because of if we're not in that position, you jump in that position because you have to know the other player. And so once we kind of got familiar with that, and then, we came up with the one back pick of the big guy, and, the big is always going to help, and you kind of pop out. And so we kind of created that, all around the court. And then once that happened, man, magic was happening.
Yeah, Pop, you talked about Nelly in Milwaukee with Marcus Johnson, Sidney Moncrief, Paul Pressey, and some great players there. When he came to the Warriors, he implemented that system. He went a little bit smaller. But Nelly's genius to me was he took a lot of stuff, and people that don't know, he played for Red Auerbach with the Boston Celtics. Obviously, the Knicks at that point in time, one of the greatest teams in the 70s. And those teams always beat you with the pass. I remember watching Walt Frazier and that great Knick team. Their motto was hit the open man. So hit the open man unconditionally. So Nelly would teach concepts first during training camp. And then actually our set plays, if you think about it, Mitch and Tim, were really pieces of the triangle broken up into an individual play. Like one quick was a quick elbow catch pin down, but that was part of the triangle. We used to run 52 pass, right? A post up, and then on the weak side, there'd be a guy walking down, there'd be a curl and pop.
Right.
These are all set plays, but they're really pieces of the triangle. So Nelly taught concepts first. We played a lot of 3-on-3. We played a lot of games with limited dribbling, sometimes no dribbles.
So, you remember
the ball.
You remember that time, Nelly, I was going to say this. Remember that time Nelly said, you can't dribble the ball. Every time somebody got the ball, they dribble. That's a turnover. Only one that didn't dribble the ball was Chris. He'd pass and run, and then the next guy dribble, and it was turnover.
You went killer crossover.
Yeah, Mully's like, come on, man. You see what I just did? Come on, man. But Mully just knew how to just play that game. Every time we bounced it or somebody traveled, we just didn't know how to do anything without the basketball, but that just made you think. Nelly made you think and made you understand what you need to do.
Quick reaction.
Yes,
quick reaction, because the defense got to react. You got to put them in a situation where they got to figure out which way to go on quick time.
Yes.
So it was good.
And you guys lit up the league. As Steve was talking about, his first game as the Warriors TV voice, 162-158 over Denver.
Man.
You remember the first game of the next season? That's the thing about Run TMC people don't remember. You guys were only together for 2 years.
Yes.
And I remember that day so well. We're back in Denver, McNichols Sports Arena.
Yeah.
And before the game, Nelly tells us we just traded Mitch Richmond to Sacramento for Billy Owens. And wow.
Yeah.
We had a big trade in the NBA. Luka for AD. Think about trading Rock. What was that, before your third year in the league? And you went to be?
Yeah, after my third.
After your third year, before your fourth.
Yeah.
Eventual Hall of Famer. Yeah. So I want to get all your reaction of that day when you found out that you were no longer going to be a teammate of Mully and Tim's. Yeah,
that was a hard day. I think, we always talk about it all the time. Every time we get together, that question always come up. But, I'm over it now.
Are you?
I mean, Chris saying
a month ago he wasn't over.
I was not, and I'm just like a female. I go in and out. You know what I mean? I'm just like a female. I go in and out, and maybe later today I'm gonna be pissed again.
Right.
You know what I mean? But right now I'm over it.
About it.
Yeah, if you keep talking about it, I'm over it. But yeah, it was a tough day, man. I cried like a baby, no question about it, because that team that we had was so unique and so different, and I just can remember, man. I didn't know what to do. It was just a tough situation. I remember getting traded and coming the next day to the arena because we played
Sacramento.
We played Sacramento, and I walked into the Golden State locker room like I didn't know where I was. I couldn't play that day, so. Yeah, so it was a tough day, and we always talk about it. I don't even want to get too deep on it right now because
I know.
Yeah, you're going to get him upset again.
No, just because, the Luka trade sent it back. Well, that trade.
No.
Billy,
it was tough.
Billy had a good career.
Yeah. Billy's a good guy.
Yeah, and it was hard.
It wasn't nothing with him.
So if you guys, 2 years, and we remember that era like forever, it's, one of the great eras of Warrior basketball, and we've seen so many. It was just so brief. If you guys stayed together, Mully, what would it have been? Or even take it a step further. If you were playing in today's game with the 3-ball, and you guys would have all learned to kill the 3-ball. The Warriors played a game last night where it was Nelly's small ball.
Yes.
Each side was 6'7" and under. If you were playing, you were great in your day, and you're 3 Hall of Famers, Mully. If you were playing today, what would Run TMC be?
Yeah, I think first, Pop, is, when Mitch was traded, it was shock and anger, and then you get back to playing and you try and focus. So, but we had to move on from that. But the beautiful thing is we're sitting here together. So after only playing 2 years together, we're like brothers. And that's been the beautiful thing about our relationship, going way beyond basketball. But as far as playing in today's game, as I mentioned earlier, Nelly was way ahead of his time as far as style of play. So obviously we all feel like we would flourish. Just like it's comparing generations is hard, but if you look back, the thing we always ran into the 2 years we were together was playing against legit bigs that posted up, legit 5 and 4 men that played inside the paint. So the thing with this game today, which we would flourish with just the spacing of, they play 4 out basically. So there's only one guy in the paint. So we wouldn't be punished on the glass as much. The Warriors play small all the time. They're one of the best one of the best rebounding teams in the league because of the spacing. So you don't have the physicality pushing you under the basket. That's where we really struggle with the mismatches. But as far as style of play, I think, what it was 30 years ago, that's the exact style they're trying to play now.
Still playing.
And in a lot of ways, the way Nelly taught it, I think, was kind of ahead of the way they do it now. I mean, if they should look at what Nelly taught, especially teams that are trying to play small exclusively.
Yeah. Well, that trade, I was speechless. Me and Chris, we walked out the room. He called us to the room. Nelly did, and he told us that he traded Mitch, and I was just speechless. I couldn't say nothing. I got to the arena. I just wanted to,
play.
I didn't want to play. I tell you the truth, but we had to play, and we went out there and we won. And after the game, it was silent. Everybody high-fiving each other, but that game, it was like, okay. And now, am I right, Mully? I mean, nobody really didn't say nothing after. I mean, nobody was happy in the locker room after we won.
How'd you fly home, Mitch? You go commercial? You didn't jump on our charter, did you?
I'm back mad again. I'm back mad again. I'm in my feelings again. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, I took a charter.
You jumped on the Warrior?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
No. I mean, I'm not a charter, but I
commercial flight.
Commercial flight. Yeah, took a commercial flight and got back.
Pop, you think about the ages. I think I was 28. Tim was 24, 25. So that's what it was. I think looking back, we said maybe tinker around us for a few more years, give us a little shot. But obviously that didn't happen. But to me, I look at the bright side. The relationship we have. Maybe it brought us closer even because we.
What was it about you guys that you played 2 years together and it was fun? But why are you lifelong friends?
Man, that's a good question, man. Because I think we all. I think we all help one another and push one another. You know what I mean? I think when I came, Chris was here and I had to improve my game, and the only way I can improve my game was work out with Chris because I had to expand my jump shot. And so working out with Chris and Rod, we started shooting threes because when I first came to the league, I just wanted to try to dunk and post up, and that's what I wanted to do. But I can remember Rod Higgins coming up to me saying, you're not gonna last 2 years, man. Man, I'm dunking. Hey, I'm dunking in practice. I'm throwing lobs to myself. You know what I mean? He's like, man, you need to slow down, man.
Right.
You know, you need to start shooting some jump shots. And so I got with those guys. And then when Tim came, it all made sense because now we were running, you know, and he made him the captain. And he said, get him the ball, and you guys just run the lane. And so I was trying to beat Chris down there. You know what I mean? I think we pushed one another. So it was so great to play because if you trap Chris, we all had a good time. If you trap me, they had a good time. It was hard to guard. It was really truly hard to guard.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the NBA back then and having a trio of stars all under 6'8" is unheard of. And now you look at today and seems to be everywhere. And that's actually going to lead me to the modern-day Golden State Warriors. I mean, we got Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and now Jimmy Butler. Now, Mully, I know you're on NBC all the time kind of talking about it. 3 games so far, lost to the depleted Dallas Mavericks last night. I guess I'll start with Tim on this one because he is the all-time leader for the franchise in assists per game still to this day. So what do you make of Jimmy
Guy
Butler?
Rogers?
Wow. I didn't know that.
Molly, look that up.
I'm not questioning that.
I get Guy was a great player, though.
So as an incredible passer, I mean, what have you made of Jimmy Butler's addition so far, and particularly with his passing ability?
Well, you know, Jimmy Butler is an all-around basketball player. A lot of people don't understand that. When he goes out there to play, you know, when he's out there, he plays hard. He knows how to play. He knows how to get his teammates the ball. He knows how to defend. You know, he gives his team an extra boost of confidence. You know, he knows how to play basketball. I was just on him because, you know, you was under contract, you know, and you had to fulfill a contract, and don't be upset because somebody says no to you. You know, we grew up, you know, back in the day, we grew up with parents saying, no, you can't have this. No, you can't have ice cream. No, you can't have them gym shoes. No, you can't have that shirt. You know, you had to work hard for it, you know, and you know, him not getting the extension because Pat wanted to see a little bit more out of him play and not be in a playing game. He wanted to have him in the playoffs and ready for the playoffs, 6th seed, 5th seed, 4th seed, which they could have accomplished if he would have played. So now y'all seeing what the Miami Heat fans been seeing for the last 3 years. Jimmy Butler at his best and know how to defend, know how to rebound, know how to pass. He knows how to take over the game, and you don't even think that he's scoring. That's how good he is, and he's a damn good basketball player. And y'all here in the Bay Area should be excited because you all have a gym.
You cool with him wearing your number? It was Manute Bowles' number before,
right?
And then it was your number. Are you cool with him wearing?
Well, you know, it was one guy that won a championship with that number, David Lee.
David Lee, you're right. He took it after.
Yeah, he took it after me. So I bet y'all didn't know that, did y'all? Y'all forgot that. So he took it. You know, he took it to another level. But you know, I guess he wanted to wear a Hall of Fame number.
He did.
So even though it's not retired, it's still a Hall of Fame.
You got to retire all your numbers because you're all in the Hall of Fame. When I watch him, Molly's got one, and we're gonna have Andre. One day we're gonna have 10 and 23. Yes. When I watch him, he wears Timmy's number, but he plays a lot like you.
Yeah,
Mitch. Do you do when he, you know, a wing that can dominate the game inside? Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I see him, I'm watching Rock Richmond all over again.
Yeah, I like watching. You know, even when Kawhi was playing like that as well, they play that similar style where, you know, they play in the mid range. You know what I mean? And they don't use as many dribbles. You know, when he gets you in the post, you know, he faces you up and he try to kind of like dissect how you're playing him. He uses his body. He can shoot over you. He can go to, you know, take 2 dribbles and do his thing. So. Yeah, I mean, I like the combination of the things that he has because he can shoot the 3, but he doesn't shoot it as much. And that's how I played. You know, we didn't shoot it as much at that time, but love watching him play because he's a competitor.
Our time with you guys is precious. We know where you got to go.
Yeah.
Molly, what's going to happen this weekend? We know you're coaching the Rising Stars, all 3, but you're going on TNT tonight, and it's a big. What does it mean when you were playing? You know, 2000 was the last time the All-Star game was here, and those were kind of a down time in Warriors basketball. What does it mean to have the All-Stars come here now, Mully, with Steph, one of the regal ambassadors of the sport?
Yeah, this is going to be a great time to celebrate San Francisco, to celebrate the Warriors' legacy and history in the league. And I heard you talking to Muggsy Bogues. Really, what it's really about is getting together with your friends, former teammates, former guys that you play with. So it's a great weekend. We're going to celebrate Steph, well deserved,
No question.
Draymond is in the skills. TJD is in the Rising Stars. Pods is in the Rising Stars game. So there's going to be a lot of celebration going on. There's events all over the city. I think it's going to be a great time to celebrate San Francisco, celebrate the Warriors, and celebrate the NBA. It's basically the global convention of basketball worldwide. It's going to be a great weekend.
Yes.
And to celebrate you guys, Run TMC. I'm thinking, before we let you go, there's so many sports docs out there, Winning Time, Showtime on the Lakers and Michael and The Last Dance and all that. Yeah. There's got to be some kind of a film, Mitch, or a doc that tells the story of Run TMC. Anything in the works?
Oh, yes, it is. No question about it. We can't say much, and you're going to love our partners, but we'll announce that soon, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to not really kind of be a basketball story, but it's going to be a story of brotherhood. And so we're looking forward to that, telling our story of how close we are and how we came up from different places, and and I'm mad again.
Because I brought up the trade.
I'm mad again.
What you guys think of the Luka trade, by the way?
Oh man, that's so.
AD's a pretty good player, isn't he?
Yeah,
I mean,
Luka's Luka.
Yeah, Luka's Luka now. Luka's Luka. But the Lakers, they still got other pieces to fill.
Yes.
They got to give 137 points last night in Utah.
To Utah.
They have enough defense trading AD?
Yeah, the thing I told people, I said, that was only one game, and the game was in L.A. So let's see what they're gonna do the next night, because it's hard to beat a team back to back.
Right.
And they went down to Utah, and Utah was ready for them, and I couldn't hear what they were saying today because I was working out and stuff like that. But I really want to hear what people have to say today about the Lakers and their defense and what they have to do to get better.
Well, as we all know, not just in sports, but in life, health is everything. So last night, Dallas was down 7 or 8 players. So that Anthony Davis' health is everything for that trade to work. But when Dallas is whole, I think their roster makes great sense. With Kyrie, we saw how dynamic he was last night, 42 points. But on the flip side, much like we talked about Mitch and Tim, when you trade a guy at 25, he's a global superstar. And the one thing you're trading for is maybe his conditioning. If he's out of shape, averaging a triple-double, what happens when he gets in shape?
Right.
Now what?
Yeah.
But Pop, you talk about historical trades. I'll go back to the great UB Brown, who has influenced 80% of the players in league history. He either coached against, or broadcast for. Just the other day, they were asking about that trade. So UB put it in perspective. Kareem was traded. Wilt was traded.
Shaq.
Dr. J was traded. Shaq was traded. LeBron was traded. So
Mitch Richmond was traded.
For all those,
I'm mad again.
For all those new generation guys like my guy Festus Ezeli, we have seen this before. We've never seen this before.
Right.
We have.
Yes.
Who's winning the Rising Stars? Pick one. Where am I going?
Man.
Who's playing
TMC.
Sunday, basically? Who's playing Sunday, basically?
Who's going to play Sunday?
Who's going to play Sunday?
Oh, no question.
Who's going to play the All-Stars?
I think it's
Team Mitch?
Team Mitch. No question about it.
Tim's going to give a Pat Riley speech.
Yes.
Mitch is a film genius, so I think he's going to disgruntle his team by watching too much film.
Yep.
Me, my greatest defense is my offense. So I think I'll move on to Sunday.
Always bad.
Wow.
See you Sunday.
Good luck, though, Mitch and Tim. Good luck.
If I have to make a pick right here on the spot,
what are the odds?
I might actually go with the one who was
Winsanity? I'm going Winsanity.
Who was the quietest during this whole interaction?
Who's that?
That was Mully.
Mully? Mully's cagey.
Oh, my God. He wasn't the quietest. How you going to say he was the quietest? That's crazy.
Quiet storm.
He was quiet, and then he talked about how humble you were, and I was like, wow, he's trying to win with kindness
setting you
here.
up.
I'm mad again.
Yeah,
I'm mad
that's
again.
right.
Thank you, guys. This was
radio. I couldn't really say what I wanted to say.
Thanks.
No.
You know what I mean? This is homeschool.
I need a hat and a sweatshirt. That's what I need.
We're going to get you some.
We gotta
We're going to
hook
get you
me
some,
up.
Pop.
You got to hook me up.
That's a nice sweatshirt, man.
That is a nice one.
Can I get one?
Yeah.
You got one.
And the guy's coming, too. He's going to bring some more.
Tell Charles we say hi, Mully.
I will. Definitely. We're going to straighten him out. Stop
He's killing the Bay Area. What's up with that?
I'll straighten him out. Don't worry about that.
Right,
I got him.
Big thank you to Tim Hardaway Sr., to Mitch Richmond, and to Chris Mullen. And if I'm wrong on my pick, I will issue a full-fledged apology.
Yes. I will reach out to
You
you.
had the guts to pick someone, though.
That
Greg.
was a
Good job.
homer.
Insanity,
It was
by the way.
Homer.
Hey, and look, I'm here with 3 Hall of Famers. Greg Pop is a Hall of Famer in his own right, and all I can do is
his
show
own mind.
the younger generation and his own mind it showed the younger generation understands greatness from the past. Not all Gen Z is the same scrolling through TikTok. So thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. And till we speak again.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Go ahead, take a little time out, and maybe we'll hear from our buddy Pete Elman coming up. It's Papa and Silver on KNBR 104.5 and 680, the Sports Leader.